Love is simple. 10 things about love that people misunderstand. Hey guys, so real quick, I am so excited to make this video, but also, I know I said I wanted to improve the audio, but for certain reasons, I don't want to pull out the microphone. Main reasons, I don't want to be seen in the house with it, okay? So the app I was using to record, right, and this is on Samsung, is the voice memo app, but for some reason, the camera app captures audio better. So that's what I've been using to record. It also makes it a little bit easier for me in CapCut because they have this thing where when you make a cut, it can immediately just go directly to where the first cut was. So just a little hack for you. If you don't have a mic, just use the camera app on your phone instead of using the dedicated audio recorder app. There's probably a better app out there or something, but if you don't want to do all of that, just use that instead. And this is for Samsung, so I don't really know if it applies to other devices as well. And this phone is the S22 Ultra, and it also sucks. I hate this thing. But anyways, that's not what this video is about, okay? This video is about love for the first time in forever. I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. Okay, let's just get into it because I have some really good advice for you guys, okay? So number one, romantic love and family/friend love are similar. A lot of people have this mistaken thought in their head that romantic love is so raunchy, and it is like that, but the thing is, it's not supposed to be like that to an extreme extent, to the point where all you think about when you're with your partner is having sex. So let me put it this way: if your husband is not your best friend, he's not your husband. If you can't talk to him about basic stuff, if you can't work well with him together, he's not your husband, okay? Or if you're like a man, right? If your woman can't do that with you, they're not your wife, okay? It's not just about having sex. It's not just about the person's so nice to me, he buys stuff for me and all of this. It's about how well you yourself work with the person. And if you guys were here before, you do know that I talked about how relationships work and all of that. Yeah, I'm not reiterating what I said, okay? If you were there, you were there. So please understand that your husband, your wife should be your best friend, not somebody who, whenever you're with them, all you think about is how pretty they are. Yes, men are wired for that. Women also think about those things. But if that's all you're thinking about when it comes to the person, that's not love. Number two, if you're comparing people to your friend, your lover, whatever, you're doing it wrong. Now, people will do this backhanded thing of like, oh, well, I'm not comparing. I'm just saying that this person was able to achieve this, so why can't you? Parents, for example, do that. That's still comparison, okay? Let's say this. What if you ask your parents, why are they not a doctor? Why are they not a lawyer? Isn't that comparison? When it comes to love, right? You approach someone in regards to their situation. You don't approach them with an outside expectation or what you think they should be doing. You need to look at what the person's going through and cater to their needs, not just needs of the outside world or comparing it to other people. And it's the same thing with spouses. Oh, my spouse didn't get me an expensive gift, so therefore they're a bad spouse. Like, no, you're doing it wrong. The more important thing than how a person appears to you is how they relate with you, okay? Look for someone's heart, not their qualifications. This is kind of goes with the other point as well. Guys, I hate this thing in society of just collecting random people's numbers just because they can help you, just because you know their mom, you know their whoever. And guys, I know I told you that right now I'm very isolated and stuff like that, but I know the difference between authentically wanting somebody's number and collecting it than just getting somebody's number just to be friendly. Having a bunch of random numbers on your phone is not it, okay? Even if you don't have a phone, right? Would you just want to give out your home address to a bunch of random people so that they can visit you? No, right? So it's the same thing. You're giving people who you don't know that well access to you, right? I'm not going to say that you need to know somebody for X amount of time before you give them a number, but granted, that is a reasonable, and I guess especially in today's society, we're also brained to be like, oh, it's important to network, but like, you need to focus on how does the person make you feel? Do you like this person? Do you want to be their friend? What if you try to be friends with Jeff Bezos? Wouldn't that get you to the next level? Obviously, yes. But how do you feel about Jeff Bezos though? Well, you need to realize that where somebody can get you is not important, but how they make you feel is more important, okay? You do not reap what you sow immediately when it comes to love. You shouldn't expect that, oh, I poured so much time and energy and all of that into this person, so therefore they have to do this for me. I said this in one of my videos, okay? Nobody owes anyone love until you feel in your heart that you owe them love. And I also said this, respect is a given, right? We should give respect to people, but love should be earned. And I know that society teaches us the other way around, that, oh, you only respect people when they work hard and you love people unconditionally. But the reason why I say that is because if you just give out your love to people, you'll end up giving it to the wrong people that will abuse it and make you into a bitter person. Respect is what, like, when you see somebody for the first time, that's what you're going to give them, right? You're not automatically going to dote on them and be like, oh, I love you so much. No, the first thing you're going to do when you see them is be like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. So on that note, I guess, when it comes to loving somebody, if all you're thinking about is, I did so much for this person, so therefore they should give me this back, you're not being fair to the person. You're not showing them that same respect that you showed them the first time. You can give them that love after they've returned back the respect to you. Like, you can still expect them to respect you and all of that, but you can't expect them to be doing certain things, right? Because again, like, the way we act in society should be about feelings. It shouldn't be about, oh, I'm obligated to do this, okay? Because we can do a billion things, but if our heart is not in it, that's when we're truly suffering, okay? So don't make somebody suffer on your expectation. Let me put it that way. You cannot reap what you did not sow. If you're somebody who you poured money to the person but not love, you're not going to get anything out of them, okay? If you're somebody who you poured love into the person but not money, you might get some love back, okay? But sometimes people pour love into the wrong people. You sowed, you know, your own fleshly feelings for that person, but you didn't sow the spirit of love, okay? And also on this point, don't think that you can just use people and get away with it. Even if it looks like that's what you're doing, you never can, okay? And it's the same way with God. If you pray to God, He's only going to answer your prayer if He sees that you're genuine. They're not a bad person, it's just a bad relationship. It's not that they're evil, it's that they're not for you. Huge misconception in a relationship. 9 times out of 10, if the guy is bad, if the girl is bad, it's simply because they're not meant to be together. For example, somebody who irritates you without even trying, that's not a you problem. That's just your spirit doesn't like the person. Also, I was saying in one of my videos, like, stop holding on to this anger that you have for people who shouldn't even be in your life. Push them out of your life. That will make you feel better than being angry about them, right? Personalities do not change over time. Another misconception in relationships. Oh, like, the more I study this person, the more I'll know them, the more that I'll finally be comfortable with them, and I'll finally, you know, be able to work well with them. No, that's not how personalities work. Yes, like, the person themselves can, one day they'll get up and be like, oh, well, I'll stop being Mrs. Nice Woman all the time, Mr. Nice Guy, whatever. That's not a personality change. That's just them changing how they act. That's not the kind of thing that I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about something that God assigned to you from birth. It's kind of like saying, like, somebody's calling changes over time. Nobody's calling changes over time. When they are given a calling, that's what they stick with for the rest of their life. Never go into a relationship thinking that, oh, I'm going to change this person. Unless it's an external factor, like, oh, this person needs God, so therefore I'll help them with that. Everybody needs a spiritual change in their life. That's not what I'm talking about. If you're trying to change how somebody relates with you, right, that's never going to happen. Most problems are spiritual and not physical. So therefore, talking it out doesn't always work. Nobody should need marriage counseling. I guess it's a hot take because a lot of people go to it or whatever, but it's just common sense. Why should you need somebody to help you manage your relationship? Do you need somebody to help you say you love your mom? Do you need somebody to help you say you love your best friend? So why do you need the same thing with your partner? And I know, oh, but you stay in the house with them all the time. You also do that with your kids. So why is the marriage the problem? If you guys are having problems within your marriage, talk it out with each other. They don't understand how I feel. Make them understand. That's why you're in the marriage with them, not with the outsider. It's not because the divorce rates are going up that I'm saying this. Like, I'm not saying that things will be perfect all the time, right? There are times where you just kind of have to stop and you can't talk to the other person. But take that time, all right? It's better for you to like just take a minute and just be like, okay, well, let's not talk for a minute, and then the next day you talk things out, than for you to go to therapy. Because when you're going to therapy, you're making your relationship dependent on somebody else. Why should it be like that? You should be able to sustain your own relationship. I know that people are like, oh, but therapy's been so stigmatized or whatever, and maybe it looks like I'm feeding into that, but I'm not. I know I'm not, okay? Like, I do understand that things are difficult sometimes, but you have to be able to work through those difficulties. You can't rely on therapy for everything. Hot take. It shouldn't even be a hot take. Okay, last two things. It's not about what they do for you, but how you feel about them. Again, like I kind of said this earlier, but you shouldn't look at what people can do for you, because people can do a million things for you. It's the same thing, right? Do I want to be friends with the CEO of Walmart just so they can get me to a higher position? If you try and live that way, where all you do is for another position, you're gonna be miserable. All right, and last thing, being authentic is better than being nice. Yeah, if you don't want to talk to somebody because they feel weird to you, don't do it. It's not about what things look like externally. People focus too much on the external, but the root of the problem is always going to be spiritual. It's always going to be the things you can't see. So focus on that. Clean the inside of the cup and dish, and the outside will also be clean. All right, guys, so I hope this was informative, and it's pretty much common sense, but it's kind of a hard reality, hard truth kind of stuff. You know how I do on this channel, all right? So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.